teach you how to get cake. If not the whole thing, at least a little slice. Honestly, I'm an immaculate anomaly. I'm an organic organism, ain't no ordinary organs in them. I can't afford any synonymy. That's why my flow is like a cinnamon tsunami with the lemongrass. Ooh, ooh. Let me know what you wanna do. If you wanna build, I'm Bobby. If not, then kick it in the lobby. I got a lot to do. Ooh, I'ma watch what you gonna do. If you gonna build, I'm Bobby. If not, then chuck a deuce. You throwing off the vibe, and I don't die time. It's all about the vibe, all that I got time. I ain't got the goose, stack with me. Don't come.
Never leave the house without the pack. Where my at? Take an L and try to double back. We ain't doing that. Say she mad, but I know it's cap. I've been through with that. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. I ain't got it, but they hands to the ceiling. I ain't palm reading, but I got them in they feelings, yeah. Ain't vanilla ice, but I'm iced out chillin'. Was the good guy till they made me the villain. Was gonna get a room, but they gave me a villa. I got game Sports Center. 20 bands for the dinner. 20 dips in a sprinter.
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll see the Buccaneers' creative quarterback. He was a tour de force a week ago, 6 passing touchdowns. It's the Buccaneers and the Bills on Thursday night.
Well, there is a brand new stadium starting to take shape just across the way, but for now, the action is here at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, New York. But tonight we begin week 8 with a good matchup for you here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him,
so the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chase Edmonds with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get...
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front.
There he goes, right side. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chase Edmonds with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Tucker. Oh, he's got some. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. On his horse. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. Gets through, and now an opening. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 133 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to the ground on 1st down, Edmonds. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Bucs at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep...
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Here's the... With a little over 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, the offense gets ready to take over. It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Draw play, Edmonds. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This now a 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
A 4th down. Here's Jay Camarda on to punt for the Bucs. Back deep for Buffalo is Nyheim Hines. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, So the offense set to take the field here. They will have the football with less than a minute to go in the first half. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Some of the best games of the weekend come in that 1 o'clock Eastern window, one of which features the Panthers at home in Carolina, as they'll square off against the visiting Houston Texans. Good games in the late afternoon as well, one being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And finally, on Monday Night Football, the night before Halloween, the Freaks will be out in Detroit. Raiders, Lions from Ford Field. adjustments being made for the second half. So with that, we get you back up to Orchard Park and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out. After a good punt, this offense will start with tough field position inside the 10. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Second down and 8. Another carry now for Edmonds. 158 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Out of the gun now on third down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes his upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Back to throw here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. Now a give to Edmonds. He gets away from 1. And he's taken down inside the 30. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On play action, they'll throw. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Bucks are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Tyrell Dodson, the one to bring him down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On third down, they run with Edmonds. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Now a timeout called for by the defense as he'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll run with Edmonds again. And he's got some space here. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Edmonds, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. The long drive last. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
Cause you be in your zone when you winning on your own when you winning. Wake up, look out the window, see the rose in the Bentley when you winning. When you winning, when you winning. Oh, you rock designer clothes when you winning. Keep when you winning. People all in your business, gotta ride with it tenant when you winning. When you winning, when you winning. Yo, she could come around but can't stick around, that's how I tease her. Been having my waist since a look. Be no pleaser. Always gonna crush these souls when they realize I don't need them. I don't give a fuck how close wheels you cross the line, I'm squeezing. Every day the same routine, same, ain't no new team. Never ever had hoop dreams, but I'm ballin' like I want a ring. Demon time over everything, you don't know how much it really means. Struggle took a toll on them, oh, had to come and intervene. But them keys to that Bentley, I'm trying to drive it around. All I think I'm driving it gently, now I'm speeding through the town. I can't even put my phone down, trying to show the world how it sound. Around and make the wrong turn, we don't even wanna turn around. Lately I've been thinking, what would I be if I ain't take a risk? Struggle, I hated it at the time, but it's the reason I'm rich. Never see me knocking nobody, I know how hard it can get. Respect whoever on they, cause you be in your zone when you winning on your own when you winning. Wake up, look out the window, see the rose in the Bentley when you winning. When you winning, when you winning. Oh, you rock designer clothes when you winning. Keep when you winning. People all in your business, gotta ride with it tenant when you winning. When you winning, when you winning.
Yeah. Run that back,
I fell deep down in that mud, baby, now I'm climbing out. They think it'll be us when they finding out. Never taking straight losses, lady, what you crying about? I done put blood, sweat, and tears in, that's what I'm dying about. Know it costs to live this life, boy, ain't no signing out. Them boy can't eat on my team, they gotta stay for round. They gon' be talking loud, block out the south.